Yeah. All right, so about 7 minutes out. 12.
Less than 7. More so.
Oh, less than 7. Okay, so looks like I got the live stream working. So that was easier than I thought. Now I need to get the live stream out to a bunch of people.
Hey guys, if anyone wants ice in the freezer, if you're getting a drink of more ice, it's a freezer.
Ice is in the freezer. Yeah. Yeah. Ice. Ice, ice, baby.
I think I just said that.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with the brand new edition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a hawk, daily or nightly. Does it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I rock the mic like a vandal, light the stage and rock them around like a candle. Dance. All right. Hey, how's it going,
How
man?
you doing, my guy?
Good, brother. How are you?
Not too bad.
Everything just keeps getting better. So, yeah,
That's always a good thing.
thank God.
When it's a constant improvement, it's better having to struggle for it. It's always
Yeah, struggles there too, right? But not as bad as it's been in the past. Then it's getting easier. Thank God. Yeah.
There's a difference between struggle and contention. You contend for the things that you want. Struggle is for things that you have to get through.
I love that. Hey, I'm gonna
So,
use that. That's good. That's true. Yeah. Right. When it comes to things in this domain, contending. When it comes to like some personal things in my life, struggling.
Definitely. Understood.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna do a little live stream here to see if anyone on the internet wants to jump in. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
maybe some folks in New Zealand. Get some vessels here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claro.
I'd be surprised. I know root beers from all over the place, so.
But you know what?
I know root beers from all over the place.
I don't even know what that word is. Say that word again.
Root beer. Instrument builders.
Did you say instrument orders?
Instrument builders.
Instrument builders.
Yeah, people who create instruments for a living.
Sick. So you're into that?
Yeah, actually, I make electric cars.
Dude. Well, have you met some of the people here, like Dale? You know him? He's a really good guitar player, music lover. We got some music lovers in here.
But, yeah, slacking off on getting this one finished. At the moment.
Wow, that's impressive, bro.
But as far as the ones I've already finished,
That's pretty nice.
and do I have a finishing picture of Doc Huckleberry?
You good, Lakin? You good? Cool. Oh, right.
We're gonna work for him to across from the float to here with the air tank, but he said he'll be fine, so. He's good.
I don't know if I have any finished pictures of Doc Huckleberry. No. Doc Huckleberry still has his humbuckers out in this one.
You ready? Go live with it or turn the video on.
I sent you a picture. Are we live right now? Hi.
Wow, dude. How long did that take?
How
How do I unblur my?
about 3.5 weeks of going through and getting my color tests right and actually
You
putting
say
it
3.5
together.
weeks?
Yeah,
That doesn't sound like a lot of time.
no, not really.
Let's find out where this live stream. We're gonna put this somewhere for the live. This is the live stream table.
Okay.
It'd be nice to be able to see the monitor still, kind of.
Glasses.
Hey, it'll be cool if we get some people joining us. All right. All right.
We're going to be getting started here in a couple of minutes.
Oh, dang, Roberta. All right. Okay, so Roberta, if you're here, then can you pop your camera on? You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'd like to just get some signifier to know that you're there if you're there. I'd love to show you what's happening at the party right now. You can say hi to some people. Do I have you on Telegram, Roberta? Let's see if I do. Roberta from the design school.
Hey there. Nice to see you. What you doing?
Or what? Kind of like, remember when I spoke at the thing at the conference? Yeah. Friday, looking fine. Very something.
Organic, not setting and certified organic.
Well, so you know what's going on. So you can sit, you get it all. Roberta left. Well,
Not Facebook.
well, you know where we're at. You know what we're doing.
Diarrhea.
Yeah. That's been Mish.
Oh, look at your email program.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, we're all here. Let's get going. Thank you everyone for coming. So you might have noticed that there was nothing on Facebook or other places. You didn't see this in the flyer. You got personally invited to come here because you have participated in some way in what it is that we're all up to here. Why are we gathered here today? Because it's Regenerating Sonora's 4th birthday. So give it up to everyone who participated. So I'm doing some good people in our neighborhood. Thank you all for being here. So yeah, I think for any of us who care about what's happening here, that's a big thank you. And it's not just for those who are showing up and doing things, but it's also for those who support the people who are showing up. So all the family members and special people in everyone's life that support the people doing stuff here. Also, thank you too, and thank you for bringing the food. So we're going to do a little bit of a review. We're going to watch a quick video. And if you participated in this, you might see your face in here once or twice. And so let's watch this and then let's start talking. We'll start now by giving it up for Mateo, our AV guy. So I'm gonna watch the 4 years in review video. Uh-oh. 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 We'll see. We'll see. So always good to start with the video. I'm gonna do some narration when this happens because like there's things that you're not gonna totally see. Like there's no captions, so I'll narrate some of the stuff.
I like your voice anyway.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Can anyone find Miguel? And this is probably too like small for anyone to see, but Miguel's in here somewhere. Oh, right in the middle on Centro. Nice. I'll give some talk here, which you can't really see, but let's just see who was here in 2019 for any Leo's events. Anyone? Oh, some hands. All right. So then you'll remember some of this early stuff. Okay. So let's see if we can get this full screen and let's watch this baby.
Community and the environment around it.
Yeah, I love that. It's called Regenerating Sonora, and they believe the town has everything it needs to create a thriving, sustainable future through education, collaboration, and of course, inspiration.
Fire pits, pits. That's what it looked like in here before we got it. Culture and connection before vision and strategy. So a lot of hanging out. This is what it was like for movie nights. There's Cowboy John sitting in a circle. You might see your face in here maybe, and then we're gonna stop talking because I'm talking to you. This is weird. Saying like, hey everyone, thanks for coming. This is called Leo's Community Development Center now. It's 2019, and we're really glad you're here. We're gonna do global inspiration. Then these guys from Europe came. We opened in October because these guys from Europe were like, we want to come and give us like some speeches. They're like, okay, fine. I'm looking around, and then okay, we got to think about the place itself and start by learning about our place fundamentally from the geology all the way up to current events. We got to learn how to work together effectively. So Maria was there too for sociocracy training. And then this me explaining like, hey, we wanted to do this community center and then COVID happened. So now we got to make something fun out of this by doing food distribution, and how we do it is just as important as what we do, because if it's not fun, we're effed. So here's us having fun, but we're doing something helpful at the same time. Be helpful if you want to. That's what my doctor used to say. And so, we did this food distribution program for 2 years. There's 10,000 meals in it. What's up, Raven? And so, yeah, see Maya right there. Loading up with VFW helped a lot. We got all these bags from Save Money Market, the Hing family. There's JP dancing. Mushroom Mike is saying, hey, the COVID thing, let us see, like, we've got to focus on food sustainability and like growing food here locally. So we're gonna do this thing called the Erickson Micro Farm Project. And there's some tribute to this. So we worked with Mary Martha to get some students engaged. There's Dylan right there, OG. There's Abel, there's Abraham. Mary Martha's there, William's there. Oh, the cops got called on us. Oh, geez, our first day on the job. Oh, man. Oh, then it's David Guzman. He's who shows up. Well, that's good. Good thing for he's like, anyway. So then I'm saying this is our very first day on the land. We just purchased it. And thank you, Carl Erickson, for donating this parcel to us. Let's make it into something beautiful. And when the cops got called, that's a good sign that this is going to be good. That's pretty much what I'm saying. You see the smoke. So this is 2021 at this point. As we're getting this going. Ooh, and then the fall of 2021. Here we go. I see Miguel. I see Mushroom Mike being constructors. Boom, there he is. He's building the gardens. That's right, the Lear Gardens, linking ecosystems and hardware for regeneration. And this is where we can take a bunch of wood chips and turn it into healthy soil and healthy food. So we're building our first Lear right here. Check out Miguel. Check out Beto making sure he doesn't mess up. Check out Bet about to be good. Oh, then we got Ed Isley. He comes in, he digs a hole. He's like, I haven't seen one of these gardens grow a tomato in all the years that I've done this. This is gonna fail. This is gonna fail. I'm like, all right, Ed Isley, I agree with you, because he's like, it doesn't work because you don't pay people for their time. And like, we're trying to like pay people in crypto right here. There's Julia, there's Mary Martha, there's Miguel. I think Miguel never wanted crypto, but we tried to make this work and it did. But what we saw is, why don't we just pay people for their time? Next thing you know, Arizona Community Foundation's like, let's give you a grant so you can pay people for their time. And we're like, thank you, awesome, we'll keep going. So we start building more beds. Here we go. We're using the lunar cycles as the way to understand what we need to get done by when. Things are flowing, things are gonna start growing. JP was in here somewhere. Here we go, building some more. Mary Martha. Oh, there's JP with those guns. Here's the first planting party. We did this one time and we're like, we gotta keep doing these planting parties. These are really working. That's mycelium right there. Whoa. Yeah, so planting parties were good. This is all, I think now we're into 2022 at this point. My thought was looking, he's like checking it all out. He's like, hey, this is pretty good. Yeah, so we did this for some time and we're still doing them. Oh, and then we got the other parcel. Lynn Humphreys, that's her giving everybody hugs right there. There's Raven, what's up? There's Amanda, what's up? There's some mimosas, because again, we need to keep it fun. And there's doing some weed whacking on the new parcel that we got. Thank you to Lynn Humphreys and to the late Tom Hall, who are the reasons that we have it. Then COVID's over, so we're like, let's start doing a bunch of movie nights. Let's just get this thing going again. Let's get the building woken up again, because we had to stop doing this for some time. There's Matea helping us with building the stage. And then we had this big thing during the spring equinox. We had this big party here. So we're kind of doing it again on the other side of it. And so we had like Ana Maria Chavez, or she is the CEO of Arizona Community Foundation, come in, and all kinds of cool people came. Maria also spoke at that. Tech Club came and they spoke and they talked about that. We had a bunch of people from the Copper Corridor coming together, and there's Tech Club right there. And this began us starting to work with other organizations in a deeper way. And we covered a lot of ground there. And we didn't cover a single thing that has anything to do with this year or what's to come. There's like, all you saw was, hey, that's what happened, like basically last time that we were all here together, right after the spring equinox. So there's so much that's gone on this year that you're gonna learn about, with people coming up here to share with their direct participation. And then we're gonna, after we give a report on some of those things, we're gonna have some folks come up to share things like, what's it been like being a part of this? What's the good, the bad, and the ugly doing this community work, because it's not easy. We're gonna talk about what we see for the future and what's to come. And so those are some things we're gonna get into. I'm excited for this, and let's see. My speech that I was supposed to give was basically the video. We have a lineup here, some of the people who are gonna be talking. And let's just pull it up on the phone because that's where it happens to be right now. Okay, so I'm gonna walk through the timeline for when it was founded. Timeline for when it was founded, which I kind of did with that video, so I'm not gonna belabor the point too much. And then I was supposed to give an update on entrepreneurship for 1 minute. And then after that, I'm gonna invite Miracle up for, this is 3 minutes, but you're probably gonna need more than that. To talk about the retreat that you were on, if you want to. Yeah, okay. And also, Miracle, maybe just talk about the garden and then have a whole thing after this for like 10 minutes to get into the Colorado thing if you want, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about entrepreneurship. So we're gonna go through the programs that Regenerating Sonora has, and then we're gonna give an update on each one. So you can't see this very well, but this program, we have to call it something. This is Leo's, this building, everything that goes on here. Erickson Hall Micro Farm, those are the 2 parcels, right, for the growing project that we're doing. Relocalizing entrepreneurship and relocalizing land use and housing. So you're gonna get a quick spiel on each one of these. There's not enough time to get into many details. It's just like painting a little picture and then moving on. So that way you can get some details. So I'm here right now, I'm gonna talk about relocalizing entrepreneurship. So we, last year, did a bunch of re-granting to community groups. So when we got this grant for $30,000 from Arizona Community Foundation, we re-granted about 2/3 of it. So we kept about 1/3, we re-granted 2/3, and that went to things like the Prickly Pear Festival, the Las Dia de los Muertos, Adelantes Juntos, and Billy Joe and the Superior Dance Company. Some to rebuild Superior Arts and Culture group or subcommittee, and that's what we did last year. We're like, hey, this is kind of like, this is nice helping nonprofits. We should do some more of that. So we found a really good friend who has a bunch of experience doing this kind of work in nonprofit technical assistance, named Josh Senyak. And he came here, fell in love with Superior, wants to move here. Maybe he flirts with the idea. I'm not sure he's going to, but he helps out on like Zoom calls and stuff, getting people's budgets set up. He got our budget set up. He got Miami Arts Commission budget set up. He helped Art 145 get their budget set up. So just getting your budget set up is good because especially for these nonprofits, one principle is we want to make it easy for people to give us money. Should be easy. If it's hard, then we're not doing something right. So we want to make it easy for all of our friends to be able to get money too. Having a budget, got to do that. So that's one of the things we focused on. And then we started looking at ways that we could help our local businesses as well. So I'm thinking about the entrepreneurs that maybe it's their first time being a business owner and they haven't done it before and they need some support in whatever ways that they're into. And so we've done that with Julio a little bit. And it's really interesting to me that someone presented about what we did with Julio over coffee in Manchester, United Kingdom at some like super high level business conference. And so it's just like kind of on the low, and that's okay. What's up? Oh, Mike, what's you? So I could say more, but also Good Morning Arizona, who came to do a spot on the businesses. That was we played a part in doing that and bringing them here. So those are ways that we've helped, and there's so much more that we want to do that I'm not sure I can say too much more given the time. So let's go ahead and invite Miracle up here. What's up, Miracle? talk about the garden and then invite Beto up when you're ready to invite Beto up.
Is Beto here? I don't think I saw him. I think he might have left. He was here. Well, if he shows back up, I'll invite him up. So, yeah, let's just give a brief about, well, first, let me say thank you, everybody, for coming out here, for being a part of Regenerating Sonora and a part of the community and caring and doing what you do for who you can. So my name is Mira Martinez. I am Regenerating Sonora's program manager, and today I'm going to be talking quickly about our community garden known as the Erickson Hall Micro Farm. So there's lots of excitement. First, I want to say that September 29th, next Saturday, we are having a planting party. Oh, no, sorry, next Friday. We're going to have a awesome planting party. It's going to start at 3 p.m. here with U of A doing a water testing class for arsenic and lead. So if you bring a sample of your house's water or, the creek's water from wherever, you can find out what is in your water through U of A here at 3 p.m. Afterwards, we're going to meet at the community garden just down the street, 225 North Canal Avenue, for our full moon harvest party. We're going to be planting some plants. We're going to have some public speakers, some education opportunities, and then we're going to shoot over to the parade, the homecoming parade, and we're going to be having a booth, or not a booth, a float alongside U of A, which is going to be super exciting. And if anybody wants to be a part of that project and helping us get a float together, please talk to me. And then we have, after that, we're gonna go to the tailgate and have another potluck. So that's open for anybody, any of you guys that want to come and attend the tailgate potluck. And that's going to be a huge day of just so many things going on. So hopefully we can keep you informed about that. Couple of really awesome opportunities is that you can get paid to work at the community garden. We've had Beto. Beto, are you here? I don't think he is, but he is actually one of our contract employees. So he gets paid to work at the community garden every single morning. And that's just awesome that we can actually have an employee there at the community garden. Now we're starting to expand, we're starting to create the design of what we want our community garden to look like. So if you're interested in being a part of this sociocracy circle of getting the community garden going, that's something you want to talk to me again, and I can start adding you to those meetings and see where we can get with that. Another awesome thing happening with the community garden is our reproduction of soupy soil. So in the back, we actually have all of our soupy soil on display. It's $10 per gallon. And we're starting to get some collaboration with our soil. For example, our friends in San Carlos, what is their official name?
I'll butcher it if I say it because it's Apache.
Yeah, it's an Apache name because it's on San Carlos Reservation. I'll just wait for Chris to get that name, but they actually bought $100 worth of soil from us for their community garden. So we're starting to get that collaboration between communities so that we can start to have healthy soil in all of our gardens. So yeah, you can purchase some soil, just talk to me, Chris, Lakin, or JP about purchasing some. And if you buy it in bulk, there might be a discount for you guys. And we want to start making those connections. I feel like I've already gone over the 3 minutes. But yeah, there's really a lot of stuff going on. Do you have that name?
No, it's there. All right, thank you, Miracle. It's hard to hold it all. There's so much going on that it would take a long time. And a quick point of order: 1 p.m. is going to be the U of A arsenic test here with the water. For any high school or junior high or steady or elementary school kids, bring basically a cup of water as a sample. That's at 1. And then at 3 p.m., we're going to hightail it to the parade.
Oh, okay.
And then after the parade, we're going to hightail it to the planting party. And then after the planting party, we're going to hightail it to the tailgate. That's the plan. That's the plan for full moon next Friday. All right, cool. Thank you. So let's go ahead and bring up Lakin Woods. Come on up. So just so you all know, I gotta just say this now before any time goes further. A huge thank you to Lakin and what she's done here to come into this community. You were born in Globe, is that right?
Yes, I was born in Globe.
Born in Globe and then traveled around and made her way to Superior and has been so helpful and takes initiative and is a real leader. So thank you. So you're gonna get the Leo's update and I'll leave you to it.
Oh, he's gonna make me cry. Hi, everyone. My name is Lakin Woods, Elizabeth Woods, Liz Woods, anything you'd like to call me. I'm here. I'm Leo's community manager, and I'm so happy that you're all here. I'm so happy to see you all here, see your lovely faces. Maybe give you guys a couple of hugs, but can't do that right now. I'll give you a hug, don't worry. But anyways, I'd like to update you guys on what's going on in Leo's. So about 2 times a month or more, depending if the students need it, we host a study hall here. We host a study hall on the first Wednesday and the last Wednesday of the month. If there is a study hall in between that time, I always make sure to post an update, let the students know. They come up to me, let me know if there's any tests and so on. But that starts at 3 and ends at 5. If any of y'all want to bring your youngins in for help, they don't have to be in high school. I will teach the kindergartners how to speak the ABCs, don't worry. And on Thursdays, every single Thursday of the month, we host our tech club. If any of you are interested in joining our youth tech club, even if you're a little bit over 18 like me, or if you are interested in joining or know anyone who wants to, we're more than willing to have new members of our tech club. We love everyone who joins, and everyone who joins are always so nice and kind and smart, except for me. And then on Fridays, we have Youth Friday. If you guys just want your kids to be a little bit more socialized, if you just want them to make some friends, or if you want friends, hi, I'm here. I'm also willing to be your friend. Willing, who knows? Youth Fridays are always open. On Thursdays, tech clubs are open from 3 to 5, or if there's a big project like the wearable computer to 8. I get tired though. And on Youth Fridays, it is 1 to 5. I hope you guys enjoy that. And I'd like to invite, I don't want to share the stage, but I guess I have to, with my very good partner, John Thomas.
All right, so I'm John Tomlin and I'm the Leo's Tech Club manager. And I've said this 100 times before, and I'm gonna say it however long I have to. Chris, thank you. Really, you've given us so many opportunities and things. This would be possible, but please, Chris. You're really awesome. Yeah. So I had helped start Tech Club back in December 8th of 2021. I invited Lakin here and Alex and Dylan. And during that time, it was a little bit of a rough start. We got this awesome Arduino, thanks to Chris again. And Tech Club started off very strong, but I guess since everybody's been talking all the good stuff about Tech Club, I should be the buzzkill and tell you about the stresses and the things that we have to sacrifice to be there. Yeah. So, for instance, thanks to this beautiful woman here, if it weren't for her, Tech Club would not be here. A lot of things I don't know if we would even be here celebrating right now if it weren't for her. True. Yeah, I'm a very busy person. I'm the student council president. I'm part of FBLA, FCCLA. I'm all over the community all the time. And sometimes I have to be at 5 different places at once. Like for next week, for instance, I have to be at the fair, I have to be here, I have to be at the school, I have to be all kinds of places at once. But my point is, sometimes we gotta give up our own personal time, and that doesn't always coincide with our personal time. We have to give up a lot of personal time as well, just to be here. And it can get stressful when it's just us two, especially with working with kids, but we deal with it. And it's awesome to be able to see some smiles on these kids, especially my little brother who's somewhere around here. Marshall,
Go to the back.
Yeah, he's one of the kids, he comes every now and then, we always have arts and stuff and work on. But again, if it weren't for this beautiful woman, when I had to leave, when I had to sacrifice and choose myself, I chose to play football. And I had to stop coming here for about 2 months, and she kept it going, and I am so proud of her, she did an amazing job. And I want her to I think that's all I have to say, thank you guys for hearing me and the whole speech. I hope you guys all have a good night.
JP isn't wrong about the struggles that go on with leading Leo's Tech Club, Youth Friday, and all of that. But no matter any struggles that we deal with, we thank the people that we love. My grandpa, I love you. Doesn't matter how many times you pretend that you're not here. Bye. All the struggles make it worth it. I get to see all of your guys' faces smile, laugh at my terrible jokes. But we're really glad, yeah. I'm really happy to see you all here. And I thank my grandpa, I thank you, I thank my stepdad, hello. I love embarrassing you. I like being blush, shy. But thank you all for truly coming. Goodbye.
Yeah, let's keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Like I'm around these humans and I'm like, oh, like maybe the world's gonna be okay. Okay, the future has some brightness to it. A side note, we put in a grant for $25,000 to get AC in this building. So, you know, if you're the praying type and you think that this is in alignment with something that you pray for, then I invite you to pray that we get this grant. We've got someone who will do this whole place for the $25,000 that we'd be getting, and that'd be really nice. So we'll see. Okay, next up, let's give it up for Maria Salcido. She's going to come up and talk about land use and housing. We'll go through these programs here. All right, give it up, give it up.
So I know I've got about 5 minutes, so we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. There's a lot of things that are happening right now in Superior. We know that the city has been talking to Chicano Coral Casa about the lots that are owned by the mine. Those are some great, it's a great company. It's, you know, nonprofit as well. I guess I have a little thing with it only because I know that they purchased other property in other parts of Canal County and it still hasn't been developed and it's been about 7 years. So right now in Superior, we are looking at trying to get some movement, not necessarily for all development, business, bringing in people to be able to come look at what we want to offer here. Not saying that the mine is anything that's bad, and we're a mining community, and I've heard that my whole entire life, okay? My whole life. But the point is that we need to start looking at something a little bit different. We need to start looking at what are other revenues, income coming into this community so we can survive when the mine leaves. Somebody said, well, that's in 50 years. Okay, well, I was at 50 years ago, right? When the mine left. And then what happened was that everybody got dilapidated. We don't want to see that happen again. So with this, we've actually come up with some different things. This is just a little spiel of it, but we've actually spoken with some different, I don't want to say developers, but I want to say community involvement folks that are looking at water conservation, looking at how can we rebuild this community and make it a whole community instead of chopped up. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today too, or this evening, and it's going to be little spills, but at the same time, we really want our, you know, we want our city to know and the people of the town that we are about movement forward. This is not talking about, oh, we're going to create something huge and nobody's going to be able to have anything. But I can tell you that if we don't start moving on something, what is going to start happening is that they're going to start saying that we are not, nobody wants to move here. And if they start to state that, and any of us that know the mine, they're able to take that into the federal side of things and really look at our community as not being rehabable. So let's start being a little bit more positive about what the town wants to do as far as redeveloping some of the places, bringing in some new blood, and just thinking of some different ideas on the community gardens, housing, water flow systems, and really, please come out on the 29th at 1 o'clock and get your water tested. Even if you're 8 years old, whatever, bring your parents. Let's look at that. Our water is awful. You know, Troy and I took a sample of our own water. It was not pretty. So we really have to go take a look at that and see how we can actually start healing from the inside out. So thank you, Chris. Let's do the next one and get a little bit more.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, let's give it to Maria. Turning the light on at the bakery and keeping the tradition alive in her own way. You know, thank you for all your contributions and steadfastness, no matter how easy or not it's been.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, well, now I'm really excited to invite Miracle back onto the stage because we're hoping to hear a little bit about her adventure to Paonia as a part of this landscape leaders retreat that she went on. So just a quick show of hands, was anybody here when that guy Joe Brewer came? We did the planting party, then we came here and he gave a talk and he talked about planetary boundaries and how we need to regenerate the Colorado River Basin. Yeah, okay. So this happened. You just have to take there's a video on YouTube if you don't believe me. This guy came and he's like, hey, if I went from the headwaters of the Colorado River all the way down to Mexicali where it used to drain into but no longer does, and while I was there, I met with all these different community organizers and all these different places, and my last stop, Superior, Arizona. And so since then, we've been in touch with the people that were a part of that conversation, those community organizers in Mexicali, in the Grand River Junction. I was like, I don't even know what Grand River was. He was like, well, Grand River used to be the Colorado River, and they called it the junction because that was a junction of the Grand River. And now it's the Colorado River, so you don't even get it. Wow. This is all these little things that we learn about how we're all part of the Colorado River Basin. The Colorado River Basin isn't just a river, it's this huge landmass, the geological basin. There's a lower basin and an upper basin that covers this whole area. So we've been in touch with them for months, and we've had conversations, started to plan and scheme a little bit, like how can we work together to really support our own place? And some genius was like, hey, let's do a retreat where we get community organizers from these various places. So I'll go up to the headwaters and let's come and talk in person for some intense getting together and figuring out how we can be beneficial. So excited for Miracle, for you to share what you've learned, for you to share what people said about like what their impressions were of you and what we're doing here, and what you think the future holds based on what you learned in this experience. So let's give it back up for Miracle.
Thank you. I first want to say another shout out to Chris, because honestly, I wouldn't have even had the connection to be able to go on this retreat. Regenerating Sonora actually pays for my subscription to the design school for Regenerative Earth. So that's a huge blessing to even be a part of this type of network. And so first I want to talk about this picture. These are the leaders of the people that Joe Brewer came and saw during his tour. They include permaculturists and regenerative farmers, facilitators, healers, and communities from Paonia, Carbondale, and Hotchkiss, Colorado. Community development, agriculturists, and regenerative finance investor from Mexicali, and then myself as community organizer in representing Leo's Community Development Center in Superior, Arizona. Couple of learning themes that were picked up during this. I have a long list, but I'm going to tell you 3 so you guys don't get bored super fast. To see bioregional learning really clearly together. To gain an understanding of story of place, and to see Paonia and the headwaters of the North Fork together and to form a basin-wide relationships to this place. So that's just like a couple of themes that were really discussed during this retreat. I also want to say again, thank you to the Design School for Regenerative Earth for bringing these people together and then also funding the entire trip. Really, I don't think I spent more than $50 for this whole trip because my stay, my travel, and my food was covered by the design school. So that is just such a blessing. And if you have the chance to be a part of the design school for Regenerative Earth, it's only $5 a month, and you really get to collaborate with people. We've had people from Colorado, from from Canada, and Mexicali. There's so many people around the entire world that we're actually collaborating with to make projects in Superior more feasible. In New York, yeah, really, there's so many people in this design school that are here for our success in our own town. And to answer Chris's question of what was their impressions of us, we're actually way ahead of the game compared to a lot of these people in their own smaller communities, because we're the ones that have the Bioregional Learning Center, aka Leo's Community Development Center. And we have the community garden. Really, a lot of people in the Colorado Paonia area, they have their own personal gardens. They have a couple of food forests, but really we have like a lot going on. We have the Arboretum, we have the Reap Goodness food forest, Erickson Hall Micro Farm. So I think they were very impressed by how much we are actually doing for our community. And that's just like two channels of operations that Regenerating Sonora has their feet in. So they were a bit suppressed, and we had the Mexicali group, which is our friend Francisco and Benito, and they came to Superior and fell in love with this place, and we actually plan to have a retreat here in Superior and in Mexicali. Is the idea that we want to continue this conversation of developing a purpose, developing these relationships between all of these Colorado River Basin communities. So if you guys are interested in hosting people, being somebody that we visit your garden, or a speaker during that whole event, facilitator, talk to me and we can get you on that ballot to be in participation with this greater Colorado River Basin story. So we had a couple of questions that I'm just going to say out loud. Maybe it'll resonate with you. Maybe you have an answer that you want to apply on how this could work in Superior. Questions that we discussed, things like, what are we doing here? Why are we in Peonia? For whom and how are we going to make this? At the end, we're trying to come up with this big, hairy, audacious goal is what we were calling it, because it's one of these goals. Let's say, for example, Apple had the goal that they wanted a computer in every household. Now there's a computer in every single person's hand. It's like a goal like that, where it's like, you think it's insane, but somebody was able to do it. So what is a bioregional learning center? That was another thing that was discussed. Basically, it's what Leo's is. We have the classes, we have the clubs, we have the community gatherings like this one. And we have, learning. We have just so much goes into a bioregional learning center. And I only have limited time to talk about this, but let's just keep going. And if you want to ask me questions after this, I'm more than welcome to dive a little bit deeper. And then also me and Chris will probably get together and come up with a video to really talk about the details of what happened. So now I'm going to talk about the story of place. A really big thing that we had to talk about is the story. Ultimately, that is what we are creating. We are creating a story for the restoration of the Colorado River Basin. And that goes into a lot of different things. Every community is going to have their own story, their own way of doing it. And it's pretty magical, the kinds of things that we talked about during this retreat, because it's basically creating something new, something that's never really been done before. This bioregional collaboration of saving our water and how we're gonna do that and how is that story going to unfold. So then we had to identify our goals, that big, hairy, audacious goal. By the end of the retreat, we said that we wanted our goal to be every human on planet Earth is a regenerator. So whatever they have to work with, they are just being stewards of the land, of themselves, of their community, however they can. So for example, so he has an consultant firm and he decided that that's what he has, that's his living, and how he's going to turn it into a regenerative project is to only do consulting for companies that are doing beneficial things for our planet to be regenerative. So it's just that small switch around. If you like to make music about saving the world. If you are a cook, start making your food with local things and starting to support these smaller details that will really start to make this bigger picture. And then let's talk about like what actually happened during the retreat. So there were about 2 sessions, morning and night, but with 4 to 5 hour work sessions where we really just went into the bolts and details of like how we're going to do this, what is it, and for whom, the what. A lot of questions were answered during those. And then in between, we had our delicious meals. Everything was local and made with love. And then we had lots of field trips. We got to really explore the community in Paonia and how they are starting to collaborate and how we can bring that to our own town. So for example, we went to the Night Owl Food Forest, Cedar Springs Farm, and these all have like YouTube channels. They have they've already done things like greening the desert, where they started with just desert unwatered land and then transformed it into swells that turned into streams that are year-long running. So it was crazy transformation to see some of these regenerative farms and their techniques that we can start to bring to our desert. And then let's talk about what I took out and how it is going to benefit our future. So I think I really got a lot out of it by having that connection. I was one of the youngest ones out of all of the leaders that went, which it is amazing that I get to be that youth that's getting involved. And I'm just super excited about everything that was discussed, that was brought out in myself and my own self-development, and how I think this is going to help the future is regenerating Sonora in the first place. We're trying to regenerate our desert, the Sonoran Desert, and that starts to connect into a lot of other communities. And so starting to do this with our watershed, I think is going to be a really good first step in starting to make that bioregional connection between a lot of different people. I also see that the connection between these networks. So we talked about like how a lot of the Zoom, Design School for Regenerative Earth, Discord, these are all just like platforms, and there's still a lot being created, but we're starting to like touch way bigger ranges than I thought I would ever be a part of. Like, you know, once in a while I'm in a meeting with people from like somewhere across the world, and it's super valuable and super cool to see how far regenerating Sonora actually touches. I also think that when we start to get these connections, there's going to be people, there's going to be investors, there's going to be big changes and big outcomes from all of this collaboration. Because I mean, we have like one person from New York that helps us facilitate, and then all of a sudden we have like this really awesome circle of people coming up with ideas, and then we have this other Zoom call where we all meet together, and it's very promising. And it's definitely from the retreat, I feel rejuvenated and happy to be back. And ready to get going on all of these projects we have going on, because really it's super touching. And I just want to say that all of us here are a part of this story. All of us here have our place in our communities. All of us have something that is special and unique and that needs to be shared and needs a place to let you shine. And I hope that that's our Bioregional Learning Center, Leo's Community Development Center. So I think I've said enough, right?
Wow, hyped up, well, fired up. Nice, thanks, Mary. I know you can talk like, there could be another hour of just getting into what was discussed, so. Thanks for-
Put up the slides.
Yeah, right, no, I think let's do more of that kind of give us the download so we can learn more. Well, now we are going to switch into the more open mic part of the evening. We have some folks that we invited up to talk about their experience participating in what we're doing here and to share what's on their heart. So let's go ahead and start with Mary Martha. Mary Martha Madeline, please come on up. Mary Martha is a teacher at our school and has been helping us out way before we had any of our things together. So thank you. Give it up for Mary.
Hello, guys. You know, I was planning on saying a whole bunch of things that Chris went over earlier. Even the Ed Isley. Because I remember that day and us trying to start this and the negative feedback he started with us that day, but we proved them wrong. So the thing that came to mind is seeing what Chris has put into all this is really I'm grateful to be part of it because I was telling Shelly about in 2019, we really needed what they were offering. It was like a shining light in a kind of gloomy time when we were all isolated. There's high stress at home. We were having to provide for our kids full time. And it was just really, really, you know, inspiring to see Chris getting the community together and like giving back with the resources, somebody to like reach out, get the resources, bring them to our community members, but also the involvement. Like everybody was so happy to be part of it. It was like a big fun time. There was music, there was roller skates, there was all this thing. And it just was like, okay, for once I felt like really proud to be part of my community because I could see how even in our darkest times, we're strongest together. So it was really inspirational to see Chris working back then. I really like to support what he does. As I've seen the need for what we have here shift from like, it was really food-based at that time, and then the need shifted. So we were starting to look at that community sustainability and working on the Lear Garden. And you know, we face so many different challenges, but the thing that I remember most is how we figured out solutions together. So it was like a really bonding time for us that worked on the gardens because we got to see and learn and grow together. And I think that's what makes it all really worth it, is because it's not just somebody else coming in and building or creating these things for you. It was us, you know, and to see the micro farm and being able to expand. And like I watch what Bethel's been doing up there, watering it every day in the morning. We also have plenty of other people that kept it going, and just seeing when people put their hand on it, how much it continues to grow. So, you know, I've been a big supporter of Regen and Chris and what he does, but it's so great to see everybody else here coming to support him. And I'm so happy to say happy birthday to Regen for 4 years, because you know what? I really give a lot of credit to Chris right here, because he's really the guy behind the scene. He pulls us all together. He inspires us, and I see a really bright future for Regen. So good job, Chris, and thanks for your time, guys.
Oh, we got some people that want to come up. Is that no? All right. Okay. Well, let's keep this thing rolling. We got one more first, and then we're gonna hear from Maria Salcido, but first let's see if he's ready. I don't know if he's ready.
He's ready.
Let's get Miguel Sanchez up here, please. Give it up for Miguel. Oh. Constructor. There's no way we'd have any weird gardens going on if it wasn't for this guy right here. Well, that's cool.
How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, everybody is a little too full, can't talk. You got my favorite. But just wanted to, Chris asked me to come up here and speak. The things that I really enjoyed about building the garden was the connection with other people. Julio became a great friend of mine, got closer with Chris, Mary Martha, JP, raised that. Oh, there you are. Sorry. But it was a great experience building the garden. And I've been pretty absent from actually being in the garden as of late. Just been busy with my own thing that I've been having going on, but it makes me real proud to see how much it has evolved. The time that Beto has actually put into the garden and making it a very beautiful place to just be out there and watch things grow. And it was fun working there. It was building them, and I look forward to trying to put a little bit, give more of a little time to help them build some more beds. I know Chris talked about creating a couple more, so I would actually like to get my hands on some wood again, even though this sounds a little inappropriate. It happens. It happens only on Sunday. It's yeah. You never know what you're gonna get. But yeah, no, I look forward to it, and hopefully, Chris will let me know so I can work my schedule around. I want to show JP how to build them. He asked me not that long ago, he wants to know how to make them, so I mean, he's a tech guy, but I'll show him how to use the power tool. Love you. But I love you too. But I'm very amazed of everybody that's here that has actually done a lot, with Regen in the community. It just shows, people are more than willing to, give their time and help the community grow. You open your eyes to see it. But that's all I got for tonight. Thank you for coming.
I don't like go. Thank you very much. Maria Salcido, come on up. Let's read it one more time. Let's give it a play. Noisy. Let's go.
Okay, so before I really couldn't have a lot to say because I really had to wait for Miracle to talk about what she did. Okay, so we're really gonna start getting into some different things that are happening within Superior, which a lot of you that have been a part of the town kind of know what's going on. Just so you know a little bit about why I'm here, okay, is the fact that I was born in Miami, my dad's from Globe, my mom's from here. Been a part of my whole entire life, came back 8 years ago. The reason for that is because Grandpa basically told me when he wasn't feeling well that you need to go back someday and help them. He knew I was in real estate. He knew that I had been doing development for many years. The one thing is that he just really wanted Superior to come back alive. That was his passion. That he did not care about anything. All he cared about is Superior, the people, and even when he passed, it was really hard for my family because they didn't want to share him anymore. They shared him their whole entire life. So, I just wanted to say that when he passed, and right before, actually, probably about a week before, he did say to me, when you have time, please come home. And so that's why I came back here 8 years ago. I could have went anywhere at the time. I was getting ready to retire. I would do something different, right? But I came back here so I could figure out what I could do with his little bakery and figure out how we can make that go in a different direction and build more of a community that was gonna be whole again. There's been so many divots in this community for so many years that we had to look at something. Now, it's gonna be a little bit long-winded, sorry, Chris, but you know, when I got back here, we had investment happening at the city. We had things that were prosecuted. You know, our mayor had some problems going on there. We had a lot of theft happening within other parts with, okay, the mine had some things stealing the water. Okay, we all remember sitting at Barnesby, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, and that water was not being used in the proper way, which we spoke up about it. We said something about it. Now they're giving it to the farmers and they're doing something with it, which is a huge plus. Now, just so you know a little bit else about me, I am the regional vice president for Pinal County and the Board of Realtors. So for me, I have to go and lobby. I have to go speak to them about saving water. I do have to go to them and talk about better housing for people. We do have to talk about affordability. And there is no such thing as affordable housing. What's affordable for you and you and you is completely different than what would be affordable for Mary Margaret or myself or whoever. So when we look at those are things we have to lobby for. We have to have conversation about housing. We have to have conversation about how they're going to be built. We have to know that if a place outside of Superior is building 1,000 units, okay, where they're getting their water from. We want to know, because I know that Superior was turned down for water. We just annexed in 6,000 acres. I don't know if you guys know that, but I just kind of found out it was 6,000 acres. They told us before it was going to be this or that. But when the numbers came out, it was 6,000 acres. Those 6,000 acres are going to have different housing coming in. People don't want that. They don't want to get gentrified. They don't want, let me tell you something. If you don't do it, you're going to get gentrified on the back end, because we are 40 minutes from the city. Black Canyon City, all the other little towns, we have already said we don't want this, but in reality, we don't have that choice. We have to be able to make decisions. We have to be able to control the circumstance. We have to be the one in control of what's happening with the development. If you allow somebody else to come in and not have control of it, you're going to lose out. Yeah. Okay, but you have to be in control of it. You can't, and that's where the trusts come in. So if you notice on some of these slides, they talked about community trusts. They talked about we need people to step up now and be a part of these work groups and start talking about these community trusts. And what those community trusts are going to be in work groups is coming forth. How do you want your town to look? What do you want to bring to the town? How does the housing going to look for everybody? So I'm telling you what, they're bringing in at least a resort. Okay, that's been on the topic already. I've already had that conversation, and I can tell you also they're bringing in a hotel that's going to be right here coming into Main Street. I only know that because they asked me to bring it. Okay, so there is going to be a hotel. It's going to be 120 rooms. They are going to be bringing in resorts. They are going to be bringing in upper end homes. They are going to be doing something, but one thing you guys need to start realizing is the mine owns 147 lots. And the reason why they had to do that is because that mine did not release your 147 lots. So in reality, if that lots had been released, we would not be annexing 6,000 acres to do some other redevelopment. Chicana Pro La Casa is going to get virtually all of those lots. Right now, I do know Casa Grande, Eloy, Coolidge, and I believe part of Mammoth has some land that was given to Chicano Pro La Casa 7 years ago. How do I know that? I was there. I saw everything that happened.
How's it going now? What did they do?
They haven't built one thing. No, it's still sitting there. Not just that, they even have, I built some tiny homes. Anybody know tiny homes? And some of you may have known that when I did a raffle outside the bakery, had a little tiny home out there. People were buying raffle tickets. They know I built some tiny homes for veterans out on, I want to say 13th Avenue and Buckeye area. Well, what happened there is that they bought the land directly across the street from me because they didn't want me to develop anything more. Okay, they still haven't developed on it. That's been 7 years. Took on a roller coaster. And if you don't believe me, you can contact Rena Reed, who is with Canal Partnership. She's the one that's also sat in those meetings with me and sat there and said, this can't keep happening. We have to be in control of what's happening. So recently also, when she came back from her little mentor trip and everything, we sat down. Chris is like, Maria, come over here. I gotta have to meet these people. I go and I meet with them. And these folks have such wonderful plans for themselves in their own communities, and they want to bring that here. It's going to help with the water. It's going to help regenerate the whole park that we're looking at. But who says, I mean, if we want to look at the big goal, maybe they get all 6,000 acres. I don't know if that's going to happen, because you know how that goes with money, right? We do have bureaucratic things that happen in this town. But, you know, even if they took 500 acres and transferred them into something that was going to workforce type of farming, and be able to create housing for people and bring in something that we call affordable, because then they're able to live where they work. Those are going to be things that we are trying to implement for this community. And this has been going on for 8 years. Chris has been a part of this. I saw you again in 2019 during that Trump thing. I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you like since you were 12. And I'm like, I remember you. I've got video of him like with my grandma in the bakery, right? So it's like I look at these things and I'm thinking, here we are moving this forward, trying to come together. I'm a very big believer in God or source, right? Or whatever you believe in. And all I could think about is Source brought him here to help me partner and do this. Because we've talked about this in depth. And this is way back in 2019 when he first started. And he was coming into this and he's like, what, I don't know, we're going to see how this turns out. He had a vision. He had the right movement forward, and he did say we can do this together, but we've got to make sure that we're doing it for the right reasons. So that is why we're here. And I know that a lot of people don't want to see the development happen for Superior. They want to keep it whatever they've got going on. Well, I can tell you, either we control it or they're going to control us, just like they've done for the last 150 years. So if we get on board, we get some work groups together. If any of you can volunteer to be a part of those work groups, we're going to kind of sit down and see what that's going to be like. The gentleman from Mexicali, I will be going out to Mexicali, just so you know, and meeting with them and looking at what they have to do. I'm also going to be going up to the top part of Colorado where they were and look at that and see what we're doing for the water, because now the Board of Realtors is now, we've got 26,000 members, just so you know. So that's what I have of agents and the money and that part. And we are discussing what are we able to do with our water and how to regenerate it here within Arizona. And not just that, but how can this region support that as well? So that's what we're doing. Chris, thank you. I'm very excited to be a part of this. The bakery's really excited to be a part of this. We have done some other things as well in Phoenix, going to some of the fundraising pieces. You know, this is going to take money. It's going to take money to do it. Nothing's free. But if we have the right people, which I believe that we are working towards that, and we have the right work groups put in place to look at that, we can pull things together and bring it full circle. And our thing has always been about circles, right? The circle work, where we sit, how we sit within that circle, who our collaborators are, who our partners are with, I mean, we've talked about this for a very long time, but I want to thank you all for coming out. If you have any questions, just so you know, I think we are the only little town that hasn't really started a lot of development besides what's happening in the Highlands. But when it comes to everything else, it's gonna start. Okay, and I can't give you a time frame, but well, they came to me on Thursday. So we're gonna start trying to see what we do, and you know, I'm gonna try to do what I can to control as much of it as I can. But just so you know, also, we do have 22 little units that are gonna be going along Main Street. That whole little lot right there, that was approved 5 years ago. That was not approved today. So it was done 5 years ago. We had to wait because of COVID, and then we had to wait for something else. So those 3 units, they're 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they're gonna be probably $800 a month, $900 a month, and they'll be brand new units, but they're along Phoenix Road and Main Street in that lot there. So if you have any other questions about that, they will be all rentals. If you need some type of subsidized housing, you need some type of Section 8 housing, come see me about that as well. If you own some property, you want to put that on there. Chris and I have been trying to work on a program to get your houses on there, so you're able to help house other people. If you just heard, you know, somebody owns a property, wants somebody to rent it, I can help you with that too. Come see me at the bakery. Thank you.
And thank you. I'm fired up now again. Well, look, we're at one of these transition zones. Thank you. And like, I want to see who's up for talking more about the things that we brought to the table. But being that we're at this transition zone where some people are feeling they want to go home, some people it's getting a little late. Some people are like, I saw that Regenerated Sonora for your birthday cake and I want a slice. Okay, all right, we can do that. So I think what we need to do is get some help from anyone who wants to help open up some of the bottles back there. Let's see who can help with that. Who's up for who knows how to open up a sparkly cider bottle? Do we have hey John, can you hear me? Are you working on that right now already? Okay, you work on opening up the bottles. Do you get the cake? Good. All right, Tech Club's on it. They're getting thank you, Tech Club. So we're gonna get the bottles of cider opened up. We're gonna get some cups so we can all partake in a nice little toast. We're gonna get some cake cut, and then we're gonna go into after hours. We're gonna see who wants to talk more about this housing and development stuff, because I showed you. Yeah. Okay, we got a cake up in here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that get those bottles open in time because the cake's already here. I don't know. What do we think? Okay, that sounds like a plan. Nice. We got the cake. Oh, dang! All right. So you're just gonna like shake one and pop it open and just let it just spray everywhere. Miracle. Stage. If you are on the board, are transitioning to be on the board, if you're someone who's helped out in any way, either you volunteer time or you've been paid for your time, either way, we invite you to the stage now. If you've helped out in any way here, think about what you've done, what you put in, and if you've been here and helped out, and if you want to come up to the stage, then you're more than welcome to. So yeah, Barry, you've got a job to do. So come up to the stage. All right, they're coming on up. Excellent. All right. Glad you made it to do this. All right, here comes all my Montiel. Oh, thank you very much for coming. Hey, can we see you in the video or we're not there yet? If you're in the video. Yeah, so cool. Okay, all right. All right, is that who's coming up? Come on. Are you refusing to come up? Because like we're standing on the stage that you pretty much built. So It's kind of hard to go up here. All right. And Joanne doesn't want to come up even though she's contributed at the planting part. Raven doesn't want to come up even though she's helped out with picking weeds. Paul Sears doesn't want to come up even though she gave us advice on where to put the speakers and we still haven't listened to them. See, Ruben doesn't want to come up even though he's contributed to the garden anyway. Luke doesn't want to come up even though he's still here and contributed to an open mic. Steve doesn't want to come up even though he's played the ukulele here on more than one occasion. Wow. That's a, oh, Deb Spears doesn't want to come up even though she's helped out at the garden, watering the plants all the time. Brittany doesn't want to come up even though she's helped out with the flyers. Leanna doesn't want to come up even though she helped out with the fundraising committee when we first got that going to get all the funds for the Leos. Okay. Dylan doesn't want to come because he's playing football. I got it. I get it. I get it. I love even though she the very cake that we're holding and among other things. Wow, rock on. Okay, Paul Sears doesn't want to come up, even though he's helped us with the picture. All right, we're gonna take the picture up. Steve still doesn't want to come up. That's okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a picture and then we're all gonna sing happy birthday really loud and then again. Okay. Okay, let's get the picture. Should we do a silly one first? Yeah, I think so. All right, you tell us when Mr. Steve.
Very closer
Oh, boy.
Hey, you guys want to come over even though you're not part of tech? Carson.
So this is a funny picture.
Oh,
JP's little brother doesn't want to come up because. All right. Okay, is everyone visible here?
yeah.
Okay, all right, what are we gonna say on three? 1, 2, 3, Regen? Okay. All right. Regen! Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And many more. You go fire off. Let's see that. Thank you, everyone. Let's get some cake and then we're gonna switch into phase 2. Phase 2. Phase 2 includes having controversial conversations and dancing. All right, dancing it is. That's it. The lights made it real weird.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of the first year. Wait, hold up. Question for the audio group. Did I read that right? Discover automatically.
Oh, who's that